while disappearing people to train government to be in on the criminal conspiracy and to corrupt the medical corps in this country. That's why they always did secret medical experiments in other parts of the world. And here domestically was to create groups of people who they could basically burn anytime they wanted who'd done secret medical experiments. This is a corruption process of what they're doing. And now Obama has come out, and we've got the clip, with a chilling statement. And Paul Joseph Watson has the article at Infowars.com. And Obama says that this is a trial run for a deadlier airborne disease. And that is exactly what is going on here. They are bare minimum using this to practice controlling the media, to practice getting hospitals to do what they're told under federalization, to practice getting the police, the fire departments, the EMTs, the hospitals, the media to go along with lies. You heard the police officers and firefighters calling yesterday, one after another, confirming what was already in mainstream news, but not just in New York, but departments in Missouri and Michigan and Texas saying, yeah, we've been told don't say Ebola. We've been told cover up Ebola cases when we find them. And then now people are disappearing. Obama, and here's the big angle we're going to investigate. This is what I want Watson and all the writers to look into right now. Decide which of he's getting into it, and let's go with this because it just clicked. Remember that executive order he signed 3 months ago to permanently detain, if they want, anybody with any respiratory illness or sign of it? That's with the flu coming up. Obama signs the executive order to allow detention of Americans with respiratory illnesses. Amendment comes in wake of Ebola scare. And the reason I knew this was so important is the minute Paul Joseph Watson reported on this, the minute we reported on this, we got attacked by White House run groups at MSNBC and Media Matters, openly run by the White House, direct conduit on record. See, they show how scared they are. When we pointed that out, that he changed it, they went, oh, big deal. There's been executive orders since the 60s. If there's a contagious, deadly disease, we can quarantine you. No, it said for any sign of it. It's unprecedented. Just like they freaked out 2.5 months ago when we said shut down the borders, shut down the West African flights. When everybody else was doing it, they said, oh, Drudge is crazy. Alex Jones is crazy and bad. There's no Ebola danger. It's racist. It's insane. It's deranged, close quote. To say that people could fly in or that if we bring medical workers in, they could get people sick. What's happening right now in New York City? What happened in Spain? My gut tells me there's probably hundreds of Ebola cases, if not thousands right now. In Europe, in the U.S., in areas that let people in. It's a no-brainer. We know the spread rate. The average Ebola patient infects 2 people. Look it up. That's CDC's own numbers. And now they keep saying, oh, has it mutated? Has it gotten tougher? They have all the mutations. They know. They're just not telling us. We don't need them to tell us. Of course it's gotten more powerful. We're going to skip this network break. This is so important. Stations should not be airing over this because this is a network break. This is our money we pay to not have some of these ads. This is so important, okay? My point is it's so important we lose money when we don't air these ads because, quite frankly, the ads won't even matter soon if we don't turn this country around and this planet around from the evil program that's being brought in. They fund the terrorists, they attack us, they take our liberties. They let the Ebola in, people start dying. They use that as a way to power grab. So let's play the Obama clip of him saying that this is basically a trial run, extremely cryptic. Here it is.
There may come a time, sometime in the future, where we are dealing with an airborne disease that is much easier to catch and is deadly. And in some ways, this has created a trial run for federal, state, and local public health officials and healthcare providers, as well as the American people, to understand the nature of that and why it's so important that we're continually building out our public health systems, but we're also practicing them.
There you go.
And keeping them in tip-top shape.
That's right. It's about federalization, internationalization of the healthcare, centralization, and central deception. And then getting everybody used to, during the crisis, lying. But it isn't a trial run. Ebola's here. It's killing people. This disease doesn't kill 0.1% like the flu does. This disease kills 70% when you get medical treatment. And they could stop it. Let's say it wasn't even already here yet. We know it's getting in from medical workers they're bringing in to Europe. Don't bring them in. Self-quarantine in Africa if you're going to go volunteer, if you're going to play the part of Superman. Now, let's get to drudgereport.com and some of the top stories there. Road Subway, this is the doctor, hours before testing positive, had cleared enhanced airport screening. Continuing. Cops caught, this is powerful video we're going to play in a moment, cops caught throwing Ebola waste in public trash cans. That's right. They've gone into his house, they're quarantining it, and then they just have cops throwing the garbage in the trash. The HHS says, trust us. It's kind of like Nosferatu. Count Dracula comes to your door. Trust me, can you just invite me in? I'd like to be a friendly neighbor. And then there's our article, claim patients being disappeared. Thank God that drudgereport.com thinks that's important. Do you think it's important that a medical doctor on record who works for a major health center came on air and listed what he's being told is happening with people that appear to have Ebola disappearing? And now we have top doctor says U.S. system is engaged in an Ebola cover-up. Top doctor, U.S. health authorities waging mass Ebola cover-up. And it is true that doctor we had on runs some medical centers, so he is a top doctor. And the CEO of the medical center called him and said, I like you, but you better explain this isn't in our medical center or you're going to be toast. And he said that wasn't his medical center. We said it's the Truman Center. But what we're getting at here is that I'm not just getting this from him. I'm getting this from Border Patrol on and off record. I'm getting it from ICE. I'm getting it from another major medical doctor in the DFW area, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, my hometown, the Metroplex, site of patient zero. And we have all these doctors who don't want to go on record saying basically the same thing, and we're desperately trying to work through all these cases and vet it all right now. But this is what they believe is going on right now. So credible doctors and healthcare professionals are saying that there's a cover-up going on. And no one is publishing this. No one is investigating this. No one cares about this but Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com, and DrudgeReport.com. Everybody else wouldn't dare stick their neck out to save their own butts, in my view. Other conservative and libertarian talk show hosts, where are you on this? You have kids too. You don't even have to follow my story or our witnesses. Put a call out to medical doctors yourself. They'll call you. You can have them on. I was listening to a big syndicated radio show this morning, driving in, and they were saying, yeah, there's some people claiming that there's Ebola patients and they're getting covered up, but, you know, I don't know about those sources. Clearly a jab at us. Listen. You need, the people that have media power need to get on this right now. It's ahead of a midterm election. That's why they've got this czar in there, this Al Gore spin master who has no Ebola training to basically have the media shut up and engage in a cover-up. And that's the real evidence of how much trouble we're in, is having Cuomo, who says if you want to own guns or don't like abortion, get out of the state of New York. Total gangster thug. Saying to the New York Times and others in press conferences that, oh, this guy's self-quarantined, there's no danger to spread. Everyone knows. The police are on record and the EMTs are on record that when he was interviewed, he said, I've been all over the place. It's like this NBC reporter that was supposed to be self-quarantining. The one that says, the medical correspondent, the one that says, take your bleeping shots, your vaccines. And she was caught at a restaurant. This guy knows he came back from an Ebola-stricken area treating Ebola patients. Some of these doctors go home to their kids. Man, I would sit in Africa in a hotel room for 30 days before I came back knowing I didn't have it. And then the cops are in his house throwing Ebola garbage. And again, this broke on alternative media. It's now CNN. Notice how everything breaks on Infowars.com or Drudge or WorldNetDaily.com or just none of it breaks on these so-called main channels because they're a bunch of cowards that won't stick their head up above the grass to save their own lives or to even be successful journalists. What do you think it's all about? Being a real journalist is about going with evidence, but also with your gut when you've got to get it out there to draw attention to something. You people are a joke. So, Ebola has reached the concrete jungle. Population 20 million, NYC. Ebola confirmed in New York. Patient rode subway, went bowling, took taxi. And then I've got video, I'll dig it up here, of Cuomo saying it's not true. Man, these people make me sick. You know why people don't have any confidence in you, Cuomo? And the New York mayor is complaining as well, because you're a pack of congenital liars. See, they don't work in the normal business world, the middle-class retail business world, where everything is about quality, it's about service, it's about relationships, it's about people knowing who your daddy was and who your mama was. And all of you people in politics and big Fortune 100 companies going around with your PR and your screw jobs, you may have conned some of the people, but you can't fool most people anymore, and they're done with you. And we wouldn't take a glass of ice water from you in the Sahara Desert if our life depended on it, because we know what you are, a pack of crooks and a pack of liars. Makes me want to throw up. Let's go over some of these headlines. CDC cleared Ebola patient Craig Spencer at JFK. Enhanced screening will not prevent spread of deadly disease. That's what all the doctors have said. Pointing a thermometer at somebody's face isn't going to do jack diddly squat. They know to take Advil or ibuprofen, both will lower it, when you're coming in. Acetaminophen. These people, it turns out, know they're fleeing here to get medical treatment. What do you think happens when countries are collapsing and they're going to leave the conduit open to where America? You can't fly to France, can't fly to Colombia, can't fly to Saudi Arabia, can't fly to England, can't fly to Germany, can't fly to Japan, can't fly to China. You can fly to the toilet. You want to come vomit and defecate all your bloody Ebola out? I'm not being gross here. This is what's really happening. We are a huge Ebola porta potty. That's what the globalists are doing to us. CDC cleared Ebola patient. Stocks fall on Ebola fears in New York City. Kurt Nimmo, Infowars.com. Investors believe gold and silver may experience a rebound. Yeah, what did I say last week? My gut told me. It's not hard. Doctor in New York City is sick with Ebola. What do you know? New York Times. NYC health commissioner wrongly claims Ebola patient self-isolated. Yeah, that's another one that did that. And Cuomo did it. May have stopped and gone to a restaurant along the way. That's how you quarantine, is you go to a restaurant. Maybe he gets up there and, you know, in a hallucination with 104 fever, squats over the punch bowl, and that's how we all quarantine it. And humanitarian doctor tests positive for Ebola in NYC. Fox News New York. Humanitarian doctor. You know, I don't really think he's very humanitarian. He's a doctor. He knows he should have, or maybe he did self-quarantine. Maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't say that in Africa, and then he still had it and got it on his way out. But I doubt that's the case. Just like this NBC woman. We're going to take your calls on this subject. If you're in the New York City surrounding area or Dallas, what's your take? What's your view on the police running around without protective gear holding Ebola waste? I mean, are we this stupid? 800-259-9231. 800-259-9231. Something's going on. This Ebola thing is big, folks. There's a cover-up. Stay with us.
We're on the mark.